Here is the best tutorial video on how you can make your first $1,000 for free. Yes, 100% free. This information is for both beginners and if you're already an intermediate or free level in whatsoever thing you want to do on this internet space. Freelancing, digital marketing, affiliate marketing, selling things online or whatsoever. There are a lot of free information like this on this internet space, just like what I'm giving you now. But one of the biggest problems you will agree with me is you have tried them and most of them did not work. Yes, I was on that shoot too before. I've tried some of them. The worst one that happened to me was after doing everything, the account was supposed to give me this amount. It's 100% legit, but guess what? I lost that account. Till today, I cannot access it. But I learned my lesson the hard way. So this is the lesson that I'm going to be giving you now in this very video for free, which is exactly what I learned from your particular video a few years back, and I still review that video till today. The information is going to be very free, and trust me, you will enjoy it and you are going to learn a lot from it. First, you need to understand that what type of energy or work will you put in before you can make $1,000 in real life? Ask yourself. Be very sincere to yourself. You agree with me that it's not going to be an easy task. So that means if it is not going to be an easy task, that means there's a big difference between now that you are showing interest and then being committed to getting this $1,000. That is the first step. The second step you need to be aware of is, you see, free. This keyword free is a very powerful word. It's not that it doesn't work, but there is something you need to understand about this free. Once something is free, the competition is always very, very, very high. So this is what I do. When I go online and I see a video guide that talks about how to do anything and it promises to be free, and trust me, when it's such a material is very high quality, no matter how good it is, and it has a lot of traffic, let's say for example it has 50k traffic, there is possibility that at least 5k people, 5,000 persons will give it a try. This is just an estimate that I'm telling you the truth now. So if 5,000 people are giving it a try and you are joining these 5,000 people to become the number 5,001 person in this particular level, which is this stage, you know that you have 5,000 people to compete with. Now, tell me the amount of work that you need to be able to compete favorably with these 5,000 people. How much amount of work do you think you will be able to work? No matter how physically strong you are, no matter how intellectually intelligent you are, let me tell you, it's not going to be easy. So this is one of the primary reasons why most of the time it doesn't work. The second step you need to be aware of is, this is the aspect of your intellectual and your physical energy. The second reason is, when something is free, you need to understand that either the platform or the people who invested money in putting up that particular platform, they spend money, and it means if they are not getting back the money they invested, they will shut down the platform or they will readjust it. By the time they readjust it, you'll be knocked out. So that is the same thing that happened to me when I was starting. I suffered this severally and I learned my lesson the hard way. And I'm very sure if you're watching this video, you definitely fall into these two categories. If you are the type that want to make money online for free, you definitely fall into this category. At least you must have suffered one or two. That's the bitter truth. But the key thing there is, how do you get yourself out of this mess? This is what you need to do, to be aware of. So you need to understand the business side of this internet space, which is what I keep saying in this particular channel. That means anything you see on this internet space, people invested into it and they want to get back their return on investment. Now, you who is looking for free thing, you need to be aware of this particular thing. You who is looking for free thing, you need to be aware that sooner or later, if they don't shut down, they will adjust it. Even the content creation, when it becomes oversaturated with the 50k people here, they have to start adjusting their policies, and a lot of people were locked down. Some have even lost their account. So that is what you need to be aware of. Now, you need to think of how to also go into the business side of that particular thing too, by investing money into it. Yes, a lot of people hate this part. You don't want to invest any money, you don't want to invest any energy, you don't want to invest your time. Let me tell you the truth. Anything you don't feel like investing your time, your money into it, and your energy into it, then it is not worth it. Forget it. That's the bitter truth. You can never make anything out of it. But one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people don't like investing money on, don't like investing these things into this is, especially when it comes to finances, they are always afraid of getting scammed, or they always feel it is fraud. Most of the time, it might not necessarily be fraud, especially for those who pay. If you are paying for any course or paying for direct resources, one thing you need to know is you need to understand how the platform works, that particular thing you are paying. You need to be committed, especially if there are courses material that you purchase online. Do well to also invest time into it, to go through it. Yes, because it is one thing to buy a course, it is another thing to sit down and commit yourself into it. The first step of commitment is doing what a lot of people are not willing to do, which is, out of these 50k people, if there are 50k people, at least 4,099 people will not be willing to pay money to learn this particular same thing, to go advance. So you who will join the remaining 100 people, the remaining 100 people that will be willing to put their money to take this to the next level, have a higher chance of becoming successful. That is how you play this game. I'm teaching you from practical experience, and I did it. It worked. That was how I was able to make my first $1,000 from this internet space. Because when these 50 people already aware of it, they will not want to put in any extra effort to go further. They will not want to invest any resources. They will become stuck at this level. Now, the remaining 100 people that will be very serious about it, they are going to commit their money, have a very big market to tap into the remaining 4,900 persons that are here. And trust me, by the time you have these 4,900 persons and you decide to build your business around it, you get at least 1,000 people to buy from you. So by the time 1,000 people buy from you, and then even if you are charging them for $1, you will see that you have successfully made your first $1,000. Wow, it sounds unbelievable, right? Yes, that is the bitter truth. When I go to my dashboard now and I showed you, you'll be amazed. So that is the bitter truth that you need to be aware of. So that is how we play this strategy in this particular video. I learned this from a particular video a few years back, and I thought it was a joke. The day I tried it, I was very surprised. After a while, I began to see this marvelous result. So you need to understand how this game is being played. So I believe you learned something powerful in this particular video. So most of the time when you come online, you will see this common statement, I am interested. Yes. The world is not designed for those who are interested. It's designed for those who are committed. Yes. In anything that you are doing, if you are not willing to be committed to it, then forget about it. Because even if you are interested, that which is the first step, the next thing you do is you need to move to this step of being committed. And for you to commit to this, it means you need to be willing to invest your money by getting the resources. This can be training material, training courses. I offer a host of trainings here on this particular channel, which I strongly believe that if you are going to follow it, it will really help you. There are specific training that attempt to solve a particular problem. So when you get such, try to take your time to go through those training, whether they are books or they are PDF or their video guide or their whatsoever. Please take your time and go through it, because most people have this challenge of not going through it. They think after buying the course or buying the material, it will give them money. No, you have to follow the steps that are involved in this by learning, because the bitter truth is you cannot give what you don't learn. So learning is very powerful in this particular step. Go through the entire process of the learning and then begin to implement. This is where implementation comes into play, because you cannot implement what you don't know. Now, by the time you implement what you know, and then after a while, you become an expert into it, which is what this is where you begin to bring the real money that we are talking about here. Trust me, within the shortest possible time, you see yourself getting to this $1,000. Yes, the process might look slow, but trust me, it can give you up to $1 million as time goes on, as you do it. So going through these steps is very, very important as you get to see how I break everything down. I believe you got a biro and paper and you are jotting down everything I gave here from the beginning of this video, because the biggest mistake a lot of people have on this internet spaces, when they have access to free information like this, they hardly sit down to take their time to jot. By the time you watch this video, YouTube will recommend another one, or Facebook. You keep jumping from one video to another. Sooner or later, you will see that you have wasted the next 6 months of your life, and you will still come back to see a video that is similar to this. You will jump again. By the time you go to start implementing, you are going to be having a disjointed and information overload in your brain that you are going to be implementing things that will not work, rather than follow this breakdown that I'm giving you. So that is how we play this simple strategy on this internet space. So you need to understand how to do this very well. Take time, practice. Practice is very, very important, because that is what draws the difference between those who are just learning and those who are becoming very good. Because by the time you start implementing, you need to practice. It's practice that will make you know a lot of things about that particular thing that other people don't know. And that is what will give you the added advantage. That will give you the kind of result that you are looking for, that others are doing and they are not getting. So in a nutshell, this is what you need to be aware of. You see, learning move in stages. We have the first stage, which is free, which is like most of the videos you see we give here on this internet space. By the time you start from the free, you have a basic understanding. Try to go for the paid version or the paid aspect. The paid aspect will give you some special dedicated, it might even give you opportunity for mentorship, where you get one-on-one interaction with the real owner, because you cannot operate in isolation. There are things I know at this level that, let me tell you, even if you have been doing everything on this internet space, there's possibility that you will not know it. But I know some of these things that the moment I tell you to do it, I'm telling you, within 24 hours, you begin to see some amazing results. That's the bitter truth. So because a lot of people are always trying to avoid investing money because they have lost money before, take advantage of this. Let me tell you, it will always pay you. You will never lose. It has proven and it is tested. If it is not proven, if it is not tested, I will not tell you this. So, but if you feel you will not put in money, that means you are going to do a lot of hard work. Yes, serious hard work that it might even affect your spinal cord, and you stand a 99% chance of giving up. Because trust me, by the time you do it, trying to do it for free, after a while, you become overwhelmed and your brain you become mentally exhausted. And the worst form of exhaustion is mental exhaustion. Once you are exhausted mentally, you are gone. It will take a lot of break time to regain back. So to avoid this, learn to invest in specific thing at a time. If you want to learn digital marketing, take your time, go through that proper training of digital marketing. Don't be jumping from one random video on this internet space. At the end of it, you will lose. Trust me, that money you don't want to spend, you will still burn it on data, and at the end of the day, without any result. But if you go through a paid course, anytime you are coming online to see another post video on digital marketing, you already have an understanding of what this person is talking about, and you can easily pick up that strategy and implement it into what you already know, and it will work. You are going to have an organized chronological arrangement of information that will work, because you see, success is not a product of miracle. It is a product of logic. Logic have steps, and steps has implementation strategy, and implementation strategy has expertise level which you get to. That is why when you're going to school, they start from some steps and they move you through the step. From those steps, you move into stages. Then from those stages, you move into the expertise. That is why at the highest level of education, you begin to hear of professor. That means you have become an expert. You move into. So that is how these things work. So if you can invest 15 years of your life in school to learn just the theoretical aspect, now that the internet space has given you the opportunity to even connect with mentors, because the best school on earth cannot give you a direct one-on-one mentor. It's only in some few cases, but the internet has given you the opportunity that you can connect with people directly, have a one-on-one mentorship with them, and trust me, what you spend 6 years doing in the university, somebody can learn it and become very good in it in 6 months. I'm speaking from experience. So that's the bitter truth that you need to be aware of. There are some courses that we used to underestimate those days, but trust me, when I come to the internet space, I begin to see how powerful they are. They are better than those courses that you go to study: medicine, barrister, engineer, and the rest of them. You will see people do very powerful things now that you can ever imagine, especially with the advent of AI and the rest of them. So take advantage of these things, and I believe it will really help you. Take note, any video that has a lot of views on the internet space, if you are going into it, be ready to do the hard work, else forget it. Then learn to invest money in learning, because knowledge is the only thing that can take you to any level that a lot of people are not willing to invest into. So when you know what 1,000 people don't know, you have a higher chance of collecting money from all these 1,000 people. That is the truth. I'm speaking from experience. So by then, you will now see that you can build your business around it. That the world has an average population of at least 1 billion people that come online every day. So no matter the kind of business you are doing, there's no way that if you follow the strategy that I'm talking about, that it will not work. It will work. It must work, because logic. Money is logic. Money is not miracle. That is one thing you need to know. If you are hungry, you become logical that you need a solution. It's not you need to go and pray. When you are hungry, you don't think of going to pray. You think of going to look for food. So you can see it has been programmed that way. So it's logic. So for you to get that food, you are going to give somebody your money to collect that food. You will not go and pray and wait for food. It will never happen. So you have to understand how to follow this logic. And when you are giving that money, you are giving that money in exchange for a reward. And that is what every platform, how money works. So money on itself does not have value. It is the value that you give in exchange for the money that makes it valuable. So if you have a value, that there are people that you can do business with without necessarily giving them money. If you have what they value, you give them, they collect. So that means money is just a ceremonial representation. The real value comes when you are giving. So the reason why most people use money is because they believe that for you to get that money, you must have given somebody value. And then when you collect that money, you come and give them to in exchange for the value they're giving you. And them too, they will carry that money and they will give another person in exchange for the value. That is why if you think people who don't understand this thing, they go in search of jobs, believing that they can make money through just doing jobs. But the thing there is, no matter how lucrative the job is, that money will not stay in your hands. Because as that money is coming, money is not designed to stay. Yes, from an economic perspective. That is why we have what we call velocity of money. Yes, it is designed to move, constantly moving. So if you think you can make money and you keep it, and then in the next 100 years to come, you will get back that money will become useless. A lot of people have tried this, they are learning their lesson the hard way. The only thing that can make you make that money valuable is if you invest into learning. Because there are things I know now that in the next 5 years to come, I will still make money from it. You cannot take it away from me. That is the bitter truth. No matter how you adjust the system on this internet space, I will still have my way around it because I've invested into knowing it. You cannot remove it. That is the bitter truth. But if I didn't invest into it and I kept that money in the bank, trust me, by now, if inflation must have finished it, maybe I would have wasted it on something else, or maybe do something different that today I might not even know where that money is. So do well to keep a date on this particular channel. So when I talk about connecting with people as mentor, you see, the biggest problem some people have is they think when they are following you on social media, they are doing you a favor. You are not doing anybody a favor. That's the bitter truth. Because the time you watch this video, if you don't follow and you don't keep tab, I'm going to be giving a lot of high valuable information like this for free for the beginners that you might not see in the next video I will post. So if you don't turn on your bell notification to constantly follow what I'm giving, and you keep moving from one channel to another, you end up with what we call information overload. You end up with a lot of junks. It's like someone who carried a piece of paper and is just jotting things anyhow. It might be very high valuable information, but if you are just jotting them anyhow, at the end of the day, you end up with a lot of write-ups that you will not know where to read and where not to read. But if you have an organized information like what I'm giving here, I drop this one, this strategy today, I drop this one tomorrow. By the time you follow, you see that you have, even without paying for anything, you will see that you have learned so much. There are people that offered serious paid courses on this internet space that I'm following till tomorrow. But trust me, some of them I didn't subscribe to any of their paid courses, but trust me, I've learned so much from them because I decided to be committed. As I said, you need to be able to differentiate, to draw that line between I'm interested and I'm committed. These things are not the same. Interested, committed. 1,000 people can show interest, but only maybe 10 or 100 will be committed. So if you decide to remain at this level, every time you are posting I'm interested, jumping from one place to another I'm interested, because you want it for free, you will end up being poor and broke. That's why you see there are a lot of broke people on this internet space. When they see people with money, they believe that people who made money are diabolic. Nobody can use diabolic means to make you rich. So that is the bitter truth. But If you move to this I'm committed, trust me, you are going to see wonderful result in your life. So once again, see you in my next video. So don't forget to subscribe so that you get subsequent updates and you continue to learn more. And then you get to see how we make your life better.